Hi guys, and welcome back to the Video Game Powers. I'm Jake. In today's video, I'm bringing you guys some more Marvel United Multiverse content. In today's video, I'm gonna be showing you a playthrough of the Annihilation expansion here for Marvel United Multiverse. So this Annihilation expansion, I honestly can't remember if this is a Kickstarter exclusive expansion or not. I think off the top of my head, I want to say it is not, but if it is, please do forgive me. But this is bringing in kind of the Nova Corps characters into the game. This is strictly like a Nova Corps expansion. So the big bad here is going to be Annihilus, and then we have Quasar, Nova Prime, Phyla Vel, and Moondragon. So we will be doing a four-player playthrough taken on Annihilus, showcasing each one of these different characters here from this expansion. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump down to the table where we got everything set up, ready to go. All right, guys, so we are down here at the table where we have everything set up for our playthrough, taking on the big bad right here, Mr. Annihilus, okay? And so let's take a look at his sheet here. So Annihilus, let me get a good view there. You guys should have that. All right, so at a 4-player count, he is going to have 7 health. His special rule is when a hero is KO'd, Annihilus doesn't activate his BAM. Instead, increase the Annihilation track by 2. So it's gonna be this track right here, and we'll get to that in a second. His BAM is deal 2 damage to 1 hero in Annihilus's location and 1 damage to 1 hero in each adjacent location. His overflow effect for each civilian or thug token that can't be added to a location, increase the Annihilation track by 1. And of course, we have the lovely Annihilation track, which is his plot. So the heroes lose when the tracker reaches the space corresponding to the number of heroes, which we have 4. So once this little track marker hits 18, we will have lost the game. So we got his little health marker right there with dice, and we have our little tracker starting off at 0. Okay, let's talk about some things that are specific to this Annihilation expansion. It does come with 4 locations. We have Arthros right here, which a requirement for Annihilus is he must start at the Arthros location. We have the Harvester of Sorrow. So this has its own little mechanic that says at the end of each villain turn, I will add a charge token. All right, I got these tokens over here to the side. I will add a charge token to this location. And then once there are 3 charge tokens, we will discard them, draw a master plan card, and add it face down into our storyline here. We have the Nova Corps headquarters, all right? There's gonna be a special mechanic that has these Nova Corps tokens in them. Let me actually see what they do for us really quickly. So it is the, I'll show this to you guys right here. So the Nova Corps headquarters location is played during setup. Keep the 6 Nova Corps tokens. Hero may use the Nova Corps headquarters end of turn effect to place a Nova token in any location that does not already have one. If an overflow or any effect that discards civilians should happen in a location with Nova Corps tokens, the effect must be ignored and the token is discarded. All right, and a location can never have more than 1 Nova Corps tokens on it. So I'm going to keep that sheet handy because I will definitely need to remember that. But we have our Nova Corps headquarters, and then we have Kree-Lar. So those are the 4 locations that come in the Annihilation expansion. The other 2 locations, Project Pegasus and Alchemax headquarters, is from the original core box of Marvel United Multiverse. All right. Continuing back on with Annihilus. So he has some henchmen with him. So he has 3 Annihilus Seekers, all right? These Seekers all have 4 health, and their BAM is going to be deal 1 damage to 1 hero in this location. That hero takes 1 extra damage if they have at least 1 face-up hero card with special effects in the storyline. All right, those are those Annihilus Seekers. In his spot, he has Ravenous, his henchman right there. Deal 1 damage to 1 hero in this in each adjacent location. And then he has 2 other threat cards that say Annihilation Wave. Each, let's show you guys. So each thug All right, so we got each thug in this location requires 2 damage to be defeated. Each civilian in this location requires 1 extra heroic to be rescued, okay? So I believe that should be everything with Mr. Annihilus here. Okay, so we are ready to start. Like I said, we are rocking the full expansion team here. So we have Phyla Vel and her mini, and all of our characters are going to start in the Nova Corps headquarters. We have Mr. Quasar here, which definitely is a very cool model. All right, we have Mr. Nova Prime. He's got his dukes up, right? He's ready to catch these hands, or somebody's ready to catch these hands from Nova Prime. And then we have Moondragon right here. So we are all starting off in the Nova Corps headquarters. Now, what is really cool, Phyla Vel has a starting hand card. Quasar and the other 3 do not, or actually I would take that back. Quasar does have a starting hand card. And what's interesting is Nova Prime here and Quasar both have a card that says bottom of the deck. So you will need to take that card out of the rest of the cards, leave that face down, and then shuffle the cards up and then place that card at the bottom of the deck. So I have never seen or played a hero before that has a bottom of the deck card. Okay, so I believe we are ready to start here. Let me grab everything and set everything up. Of course, guys, we have all the rest of the components off screen, the camera, like our tokens and whatnot. But I do believe we are ready to start. So let's see what we have here. His first card is Continuous Rebirth. All right, let me zoom this in for you. So he's going to move 4. When Annihilus would be defeated, he immediately gains 2 health for each face-up Continuous Rebirth card in the storyline. Move him to the opposite location, then turn 1 face-up Continuous Rebirth card in the storyline face down. Wow. So move 4, and then he will put some civilians out here. Wow, that is definitely cancerous. So he gains 2 health per one of these cards. So he's moving 4. So 1, 2, 3. He is popping up on us like, surprise! Pop out and show him who is the boogeyman, all right? And then he is going to add some civilians to the left here. Okay, he's adding civilians to the left. And then he's going to add some civilians to the right. Okay, I hope I have a lot of heroics because I will need some. Okay, so we are going to play in the order that I showed you guys. So Phyla Vel will be first up, and then Quasar, Nova Prime, and Moondragon. So let's jump right in with Phyla Vel. We'll need to draw a card here, and we just have a basic heroic. We also have in our hand a move punch, and she has Negabands. So I gain 2 heroic tokens. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, you may discard any number of heroic tokens to prevent the same of damage dealt to you. Wow, that's actually pretty good. It might be a good idea to actually maybe get rid of some of these Seekers first, because they're going to be dealing a lot of damage to me. So maybe we want to do some punches. So I think what we'll do is just play one of our move punch first, okay? So let me go ahead and drop this bad boy down. So we will go ahead and move punch, and I think we will just punch the guy in our spot here, bringing him down to 3, and then let's go ahead and move into this location, right? That way we're kind of safe from both of these Annihilus Seekers. So Phyla Vel's turn. All right, moving on to Mr. Quasar. So we have a move heroic. All right, we got a move punch. We have a Quantum Construct. So draw 1 card. If you do, and Quantum Bands is face up in the storyline, discard 1 card and gain 1 wild token. I also get a wild token. Quantum Bands, as long as this card is face up in the storyline, you cannot use wild tokens, and once during each of your turns, you may forfeit 1 action to gain 1 wild tokens. Wow, that is interesting. So as long as it's face up, I cannot use wild tokens. I can forfeit an action to gain a wild token. So draw 1 card. If you do, discard 1 card and gain 1 token. So man, that is kind of tough. I might you can use a lot of tokens, or gain a lot of tokens, but I can't use them as long as Quantum Bands is in there. So I might kind of wait for that. Let's see. I got a punch. Let's go with a move punch. Again, I think we're going to go with another move punch. Hopefully this is the right strategy. So I got 2 punches. We will knock this guy down to 1. And I have 2 moves available to me. I think I might just use 1 and move over to the Annihilation wave. All right, our last turn right here is going to be with Nova Prime. So what do we got? We got Nova Force, so I can wild in an adjacent location, and I got a heroic. Wow, that's pretty good. I got my double wild in an adjacent location in a move, and wild in an adjacent location in punch. Wow, that's pretty good. I think, let's see, Moondragon would be up next. We want to get rid of this Seeker. We kind of want to set her up a little bit to be able to maybe get some of these civilians out of here. Let's go with the Nova Force and the Heroic, okay? So we will play the Nova Force so I can wild in an adjacent location. So I think maybe the smart thing here would be to wild in this location and grab maybe one of these, or I could grab one of those threats. I think at some point I'm gonna have to clear those a little bit, but I think for right now we're gonna grab this civilian. At some point we're gonna have to work on civilians or thugs. So that is my wild in an adjacent location. I have a heroic in the location I currently am, so I will use this as well. And then I also have a move and a punch. So we will punch this Annihilation Seeker, knocking him out of there and gaining us a clear threat. And again, like I said, we may discard 1 card or 1 action token to place 1 Nova Core token on any location without one. If an overflow or an effect that discards civilians should happen in a location with a Nova Core token, ignore it and discard the card instead. Okay, discard 1 card or to put a token in. Ooh, I think I'm okay there. I think what we'll do is, now we do have a move. I don't want to move here yet, so I think we'll move back over here. All right, I think we will move back there. All right, so we got 3 turns in the books. Let's go ahead and draw another plan card. All right, so we have another continuous rebirth. All right, we have another continuous rebirth, which is not good, but at least he's only moving 1 spot, and he's gonna put civilians up on the spots to the left and right. So we would have civilian here. So 2 civilians would go here, and then 2 civilians would go over here in Arthurus, okay? I guess that's not bad. We might be able to work with it a little bit. Looks like he's gonna have to come back to life twice, so I'm gonna have to get real creative here with what I do. Okay, next we are moving on to Moondragon. All right, Moondragon's turn is gonna be up, and we have Psionic Boost. So this turn, you may forfeit any number of actions to distribute the corresponding tokens from the pool among other heroes. Wow. Telepathy, choose another hero. They may swap any number of cards in their hand with the same number of cards in the storyline. Wow. Mind Control, flip up to 2 thugs or 2 civilians in your location. Interesting. And this turn, you can use the symbols at the bottom of the 2 previous hero cards in your storyline instead of the previous one. So this would give her a heroic, a punch, and a move, as well as another move. We got a move and a heroic, I think I might just do the move heroic, okay? So we will go move heroic, and interesting dilemma here. Do I start saving civilians or work on trying to clear this Annihilation wave? I think I kind of stick with my strategy and work on trying to save civilians. So what I want is to, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot this harvester. So that would be the end of his first villain turn, the end of his second villain turn. So he should have 2 charges on there. Okay. I think I just stick with my strategy, is trying to clear these guys first, leave these 2 threats open, and then kind of maneuver my way from there. So we do have 2 heroics, which I will save these 2 civilians. All right, and then I do have a move available to me, and I think we're all just gonna follow in suit and move right over there. All right, back to Phyla-Vell. So we do have a punch. Again, we have the nega bands, we have a move punch. So we got a move heroic. Okay, we need to find a way to get this guy out of here. I mean, I could technically clear this Annihilation wave if I wanted to. With this, gain 2 tokens. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, you may discard any number of tokens to prevent damage. I could pretty much wipe this whole thing out right here. And that kind of gives me maybe a little bit more wiggle room. Let's kind of see. That's going to overflow, so I need to really check that here in a second. You know what? Let's get rid of this. Let's see what the end of turn effect on this is, and we'll go from there. So let me put this nega bands down on the storyline here. So she would get 2 heroic tokens. So put these 2 heroic tokens out here. And then as long as this card is face up in storyline, you may discard these tokens to prevent the same amount of damage to you. She does have a heroic and another heroic. So we are going to spend those 2 heroics and then 1 of her heroic tokens to clear this Annihilation wave threat, which would bring this down to here. And now she has 1 heroic token left over. So this says you may cover with a crisis token, a symbol at the bottom of the latest hero card in the storyline to gain 1 wild token. Symbols covered with crisis tokens are ignored. Interesting. Now she does have a move available to her. Do we move? I think what I might do is set up this from having to go off. So let's send her back this way. So discard 1 card or 1 action token. I will discard this action token. Okay. And we are going to put a Nova Core token on the Arthros spot. All right. Kind of saves that from overflowing. I don't really have to worry about that. Okay. So the last person up is Mr. Quasar right here. We have Quasar. We get a heroic punch. We get a wild move, and we get a move and heroic. Interesting. So we have an heroic to us. As long as this card is faced up in a storyline, you cannot use wild tokens. You may forfeit 1 action to gain a wild token. Discard 1 card to gain a wild token. See, man, I don't know quite what I want to do. If he bams, he takes damage. He does not actually have a card with a special effect, so he would really only take 1 damage. But I kind of want to set up, he is the last one here. I want to set up another turn for somebody else. So let's play just the normal Quasar card here. All right, so let's kind of drop this down a little bit. Move this down a little bit. Boom, boom. Boom. Perfect. Okay. Everything still fits. So we have a heroic, and a punch. So 2 heroics. Look at that. And a punch. And we will knock out this thug. Okay. And then at the end of the turn, or at the end of turn, you may cover a crisis token. With a crisis token, I don't think I will. I mean, I could technically cover the... Ooh, interesting. Could cover the heroic and take a wild token. Okay, so that's what I might do. I might, in the storyline, because none of these guys are really going to need a heroic right now. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Got to get my crisis tokens out. I didn't have any crisis tokens out. I wasn't prepared for that one. So you may cover with a crisis token a symbol at the bottom of the latest hero card. All right, so we have that covered in the storyline to gain 1 wild token. So Mr. Quasar is going to gain a wild token. And he'll stay where he's at. So he is comfortable where he's at. And that is 3 actions. So Mr. Annihilus will go. And we have a 5 with a bam. All right, 5. Oof. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so let's go bam first. So deal 2 damage to 1 hero in Annihilus location and 1 damage, and 1 damage to 1 hero in each adjacent location. So 2 damage is going on Phyla-Vel. So let's discard these 2, keep the move and punch. So discard that. All right, that is that bam. And then 1 damage to 1 hero in each adjacent location. So let's say Quasar. Let's have Quasar take the damage and get rid of quantum bands. I don't know if this is smart, but I don't really like this quantum bands. And maybe I might keep quantum bands and do quantum construct. Maybe that's what, oh, it's got a wild at the bottom of it, which is pretty good. Let's get rid of this actually, this move heroic, because we really don't need heroics right now. All right, so that is his bam effect. Then we do his bam, so deal 1 damage to 1 hero in this location. That does not activate. Deal 1 damage to 1 hero in this and adjacent locations. We're clear there. And deal 1 damage to 1 hero in this location. We are clear there. So bam has been resolved, and now we will add what we need to. So we will put 1 civilian here. 1 civilian would go here. And then 2 civilians are going right on top of his spot. Right there. Okay. Play will now continue with Nova Prime. So let's see. We got a heroic and a punch. We do have a punch available to us. You know what? I think, what if we did the double wild? Just smashed it up with double wild. Let's bring some heat out. All right, so we will go double wild. So obviously I'm gonna need to actually boom, boom, boom. That will be the 3rd charge on there. When there are 3 charges, discard them. So let me discard these 3 charges, then draw a master plan card and add it face down to the storyline. So we would draw a master plan card, add it face down to the storyline, and Mr. Nova Prime would now go. So I will spend 1 of my wilds to move here, and then I will spend both my punches to knock him down to 2. All right. That's that. Okay. Moon Dragon. Let's see what we got for her. So she's got a heroic and a punch. She's got a double wild. Really don't need the heroic punch. We can flip up to 2 in our location. This turn you can use the symbols on the bottom. Ooh, man, that's actually pretty good. Because you could move, punch, 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 wipes out that whole thing. Maybe that might be useful. I think that's what I'll do. So psionic powers, okay? This turn you can use the symbols at the bottom of the 2 previous cards. So we will use her move to move right here to the Annihilus Seekers. We will use 1 punch to clear this thug, and then double punch this Annihilus Seeker right here, clearing him out. All right, and booting that threat. Adding that threat to us. You may discard 1 charge token from this location at the end of the turn. Okay, so we are back to Miss Phyla-Vel over here. She's up there. She's struggling a little bit. Let's see what we got. Double punch against a single target in your location with a punch. We already have a move. Man, so he's going to activate. We really don't have... I mean, She goes here and he bams. She's taking 1 and 2 damage from that. So we really don't have a lot of good options. Maybe we can move in, punch, and move back. That might be the best option to us at this particular time. So it would kind of be move in here, punch this guy 1 time, bringing him down to 3, and then use another move to go back. And so I don't want to discard an action, or I could just not punch him and discard an action. I think I'll keep that. Okay, so that is 3 turns done. Let's move on to the next Annihilus card. 2 and a bam, and we have a negative zone invasion. So bring 1 random clear threat back into play in the next clockwise location without a threat if possible. Oh my goodness. So first he'll move 2, 1 and 2. Okay, he is going to bam. So it is his location and adjacent, so nobody's there. His location adjacent, nobody's there. His location, bam, is not. So now we are bringing, all right, 1 random threat back. That is extremely unfortunate. 1 random threat back, whoops. 1 random threat back into play in the next clockwise location, which would probably be here, correct? So we have the Annihilation wave. Okay, that's not that bad. Is coming out. We would go 1, 1, and then 2 there. So let's go 1 here first. All right, 2 here would activate. Nova Core would pop. So if an overflow or an effect that discards should happen in a location with a Nova Cores, ignore it and discard the token instead. So I think for each one, so he would add 2, so 1 would happen, the token would get removed and not pop overflow. A second one would need to get added that would pop overflow, and we are going to increase the Annihilation track by 1. All right, and then over here we would have overflow and we would increase the Annihilation track again. Okay. All right, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So Philovel went. We are now moving on to Mr. Quasar here. Quasar is up here. And what do we get? We get a wild. So we have a move and punch available to us. We have a wild, draw 1 card. If you do, and Quantum Ban is face up in a storyline, discard 1 card and gain 1 wild token. I could double move and punch him. We really want to look for some heroics. So maybe Philovel can't get there. So these guys are going to have to save some civilians to be able to start doing damage to Annihilus. So I think what we'll do is we will play Mr. Quasar's wild, and I do have an additional wild token. So we have a move, so that's 1 move. I will use my wild as another move, and I will use my punch to bring him down to 2. If I can find the 2, there it is. There's the 2. And then maybe use the wild to punch him again, bringing him down to 1. All right. And that's the best thing I got, maybe. Or maybe we go the opposite way. I don't know here. This is going to be a tricky one. Okay. I think we'll just do that and kind of see where things play out. So that was Quasar. We go to Nova Prime. So let's draw a card. We have a wild, all right? So we have a wild available to us. That gives us a little leeway. Heroic Punch. Wild in an adjacent location. Maybe we wild. I mean, I could do that and then he would pop. Let's try this, okay? I'm gonna do Nova Force. So wild in adjacent location and move and wild. So I will spend my move, use the wild as a move, and then wild in adjacent location to punch him for 1 and clear this. And that is going to pop and finish this clear threats, which is now going to make him I forgot what they call it, like not supercharged, but under pressure. So he is now under pressure. Okay, so that is the end of Mr. Nova Prime's card there. Okay, so he's now under pressure, so Mr. Annihilus is going to go again. We have one BAM, and then bring one card back with our negative zone invasion. So one, we BAM. Moondragon is going to need to take some damage. There also needs to be a charge token. There should be 2 charge tokens at the end of this turn. So I'll just leave that there. And let's see what we got. Choose another hero that may swap cards. Ooh, that might be good. Keep that. I think flip this. Yeah, I'll put this back at the bottom of my deck. The flip one, don't really see a use for it right now. I could be massively underwhelming. So that was the one. His BAM dealt the damage to adjacent. He does adjacent, so Quasar is actually going to be needing to take a damage now. And let's get rid of quantum bands. Let's get rid of quantum bands here and keep quantum construct. And I believe that's everything with a BAM. Okay, so let's start doing stuff. So 1 would be added. That's 1 overflow. 2 would be added here, so that is an additional overflow, and 1 would be added here, so we would move up 2 times on the track. All right, so that was, who went? Nova Prime, I believe. Nova Prime went, so now Moondragon is up next, and I think we have a move available to us, and we also have telepathy, so ooh, this might work out in a good manner. Maybe we we should draw a card first, actually. We have a move. Okay, let's play this. All right, we will play this down into the storyline. So we have a move, a heroic, and a punch. All right, so I will move. I will use my heroic to save this civilian. All right, I'm going to save my punch. Well, actually, I could punch this thug by doing that. And then what we will do is at the end of my turn, I will cover this punch here. We'll cover this punch with a crisis token. So Moondragon can take a wild token. All right, boom, boom, boom. That is everything. So now we are on to Miss Phyla-Vell. Phyla-Vell, we have another quantum sword. We have a heroic available to us. Man, that is terrible. Okay, well, we got to play one of these. So double punch against a single target in your location. I have none. I can use a heroic to save this civilian. All right, and then we'll end my turn. So you may discard 1 card or 1 action token to put something down to save it. And I don't want to discard this card because I'm gonna get knocked out. Okay, so that is the end of Phyla-Vell's turn there. I do believe, right? I'm just gonna make sure I'm not skipping anything. Yeah, I can't really do anything. I could save 1 civilian, ba ba ba. Okay, next card. We have Annihilus with a 4 and generic BAM here, okay? 4 generic BAM, 1, 2, 3, 4 for Mr. Quasar. All right, we are gonna start with the BAM. So Quasar will take 2 damage. So he only has 1 health left and he is KO'd, all right? Boom, he gets knocked over. So when a hero is KO'd, Annihilus doesn't activate BAM, instead increase the track by 2. All right, and then he also is going to deal 1 damage to 1 hero in each adjacent location. So one of these heroes is going to have to take damage. That's going to have to be Mr. Nova Prime. And I think we take away... Ooh, this is a tough one. I think we take away this. Well, actually, we take away this Nova Force. I'm going to take this away. So that's 1 damage on Mr. Nova Prime. That's straight up. Damage to adjacent. He's already knocked out, so that doesn't count for him. And then we are going to need to put another charge on here. there's 3 charges. This is pops, and another card gets added face down to the storyline. And then we're gonna need to add stuff. So 2 would go here. So that's 2, that's 3 overflow, and then 1 civilian. So that's 3 overflow, 1, 2, 3. Man, I am not doing very good in this at all. All right, so who went last? Moondragon? No, Philavel went last. So it is Quasar's turn. Quasar kind of pops back up, draws 1, 2, 3 cards, if I'm not mistaken, correct. And, or is it 4? Let me double check. I forgot the knockout rule. Okay, so I would draw 3 cards and then perform the normal draw step. All right, which gives me 4. So we got Quantum Quadstruct, draw 1 card. If you do in Quantum Bands is face up in the storyline, discard 1 card and gain 1 token. Quantum Quadstruct again, a punch, and a punch. So actually what I'm starting to realize is Quantum Bands is actually probably really good to get early, because Quantum Quadstruct is going to allow you to draw a card, discard a card, and get these tokens. You kind of seems like you want to cycle through his deck here. So this is what we got. We do have a punch available to us. We do got a wild, or we do have a heroic. So we need a heroic to kind of clear him. So I think we'll play a just standard normal heroic. So we will save one of these civilians here, which is going to clear this, and now he is vulnerable to damage. And I will use this punch to hit him 1 time, taking him down to 6. Now it says you may discard 1 card to reveal the top card of your hero deck. Gain action tokens equal to the symbols at the bottom of the card you revealed. Oh, that's actually pretty good. I will discard this to the bottom of my deck. All right, reveal the top card of my deck. That is crazy. Reveal the top card of your hero deck. Gain 1 action token to reveal the symbols at the bottom of the card. So he gets 2 wild tokens. Wow, that was pretty clutch right there. Okay, moving on to Mr. Nova Prime. Okay, Mr. Nova Prime, we do have a move. We got a wild and we have a heroic punch. So I think what we do, we got a heroic, the wild might be useful. The move heroic in there. Well, so they'll take damage from him. So I don't really want to put a lot of people in that position. I think I'm going to drop this wild down. So drop this wild down. And let's do, let's do 1 heroic and save a civilian. And then I think what I'm going to do is do another heroic to save another civilian. I mean, I don't like that, but that's the only thing I think I can do. Okay, let's do another card. So 5 and bam. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jeez Louise. Okay. So 2 damage to 1 hero in Annihilus's location. So both of these heroes are going to die. Let's knock out Philavel. That's probably the better option. Okay. So she would get knocked out. That goes to the bottom. This goes up by 2. 1, 2. And then one of these people need to take damage. I think Moondragon will take damage. And she will take the move or the heroic. So I already got a wild. So let's put the move back under and leave that available to her. Okay, so that's the bam. His bam pops off. Quasar needs to take damage. So we will just get rid of one of these quantum bands here. All right, that is all the BAMs, and then now we need to do overflow. So thankfully, there is no overflow. So 1 thug, 2 thugs here, and 1 thug right here. All right. I hope I'm in good shape. The last person that went was Nova Prime, so Moondragon is up. Okay, Moondragon is up. We do have a wild. Psychic powers. You may look at the master plan deck, set aside 1 card, shuffle the remaining, then put the card at the bottom of the deck. or I have a wild to choose another hero to swap any number of cards in their hand with the same number of their cards in the storyline. I think I'm gonna play this. We will play this. So I will choose Nova Prime, okay? And we're gonna get spicy here. So I will trade this move in for his double wild, okay? And let me just make sure, so they may swap any number of cards, all right? So I'm gonna get this double wild back and swap that. And then I will swap this with my, where is the punch? I believe, oh no, I put it at the bottom of the deck. So I might actually hold on to this because this is a move. I just did that. That's a wild. Actually, that's Quasar. What is that? I might do this. The punch in adjacent location and a move. That kind of gives me some flexibility with what I want to do there. Okay. So they may swap any number of cards. I did swap 2, and I have a wild available to me. So we will spend 1 wild to move over there, and then 1 wild to punch, moving him down to 5. Okay, actually I got another wild. Let's spend that, punch him, and bring him down to 4. Okay, so if I can find the 4 somewhere, there it is. Okay, so he's got 4 health. Quasar, we have Phyla-Vell, so she pops up. Let's draw 4 cards, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And let's see what we got here. So we got a wild, gain 1 heroic, move heroic, and gain 1 and move heroic. Oh man. But that's face up. I can use these heroics to prevent damage, but I don't really think it would be useful. I mean, he's probably going to move, right? So it might be beneficial for me to, I should have moved Quasar out of here. Quasar got stuck in a bad spot. I messed up there. I keep forgetting to put these charge tokens over here. Okay. Man, I don't really know what I should do. I guess I can punch. Maybe move, gain a heroic token just for damage. But see, that's a move for him. But that might be useful. So actually this would go here because that's 4. So I will gain a heroic token. All right, boom, she gets a heroic token. And then I have a wild and a move. So wild, I will punch, drop him down to 3. And then I'm going to move her right there. Okay, so I may cover the symbol to get a wild. I'm not going to do that. He is going. So we have 5 in a BAM and a negative zone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Golly. Okay. Well, she takes 2 damage. So let's get rid of... Actually, what I can do is spend a wild to only take 1. So let's get rid of this move heroic. All right, so that's the 2 damage for her. We're clear. Moondragon or Nova Prime. Fortunately, let's go Nova Prime. All right, so put this at the bottom. He takes his 1 damage. Okay. Quasar is going to have to take a damage. He gets knocked out. Quasar, you're just sitting there like a duck. That moves to... Oh, actually, I messed this up. So that should be... I should be at 12. I was going this way. So I was at 9, so I really should be at 12. All right. And then that is all the BAMs. We will bring back 1 random card in the next clockwise location, which would be here. All right, so Annihilus Seekers come back with a health of 4. Okay. That is everything. We got to do some adding some stuff here. So 2 thugs on this spot, 1 and 2, 1 thug over here, and then 1 thug over here. The end of his turn, boom, pop that. All right, who went last? Phyla-Vell, Quasar. This dude pops up. Quasar, you're sleeping on the job, man. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We have 4 cards. We have Quantum Bands, move heroic, Quantum Band's release. If Quantum Band is face up in the storyline, turn it face down, and double wild. Okay, so we do have a move available to us. I think this is when we just wail on this guy. So let's do our double wild, okay? And we also have a move available to us. So we will spend that move, spend one wild to move again, and then one wild to punch him. All right, that brings him down to 2. Then I'm going to spend my other 2 wild tokens to basically clear him and knock him out. However, if you remember, he has this continuous rebirth card. So when he would be defeated, he immediately gains 2 health for each face-up continuous rebirth card in the storyline. Move him to the opposite location, then turn 1 face down or face-up continuous card in the storyline face down. So we only have 1 other continuous rebirth card, but he will gain 4 health. Okay, so he will go back to 4 health. All right, and he would move to the opposite location. So 1, 2, 3. So this would be 4. So the opposite location, we'll just move him back to Arthros, right? That is the Arthros spot that he would do. Okay, or technically I think it would be Krelar. I think Krelar would be the opposite location for that one. So that's where he's at now. He pops back up. So that is the end of Quasar's turn. So now we have Nova Prime. Thankfully, we're in a spot where we can clear this out again. So I will play Nova Prime's double wild. So I will use 1 and then use 3 double wilds to punch him, bringing him down to 1. Okay, oh, it's getting close. This is getting close. So he is going to go. What do we got? 1 and bam, okay? So this would actually go down here. So he moves down here. He is going to bam. So Nova Prime is actually going to take 2 damage. This goes to the bottom of the deck. Nova Prime is knocked out. This moves up 2. And then he's going to fill. So 1, 2. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 1, and 1. And that is game, guys. Overflow, 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 okay? Man, that is frustrating. He has hit his plot. Let me see if I would have been able to actually take him out anyway. So if I drew with her, okay, well, that's not bad. I would have played the double wild. I could have went 1, 2. I could have hit him again, which would have popped this. So he would only come back at 2 health. All right, he would go to the opposite location, which would be here. All right, I do believe this would pop at the end of his turn, actually. This would put this face down. So really, I would have had to kill him this turn, which actually might have been feasible. And so we would have Phyla Vel's turn. Oh yeah, and she got her double wild. Look at that. So I could have moved over and then double punched him for 2 health, and that would have knocked him out. Well, man, that was a very, very close call. I was essentially 1 turn away. Of being able to defeat Annihilus, but very interesting boss here. Let's go ahead and jump back up top, guys, and let's give my thoughts and opinions on what we did. All right, guys. Well, look, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough of the Annihilation expansion in the Marvel United Multiverse kind of set, I guess, or the release. I guess that's what we're calling it here, featuring some of these Nova Core characters. So my thoughts and opinion, Annihilus as a boss itself. Very interesting, you know, those threat cards of him being able to bring back those seekers, those minions and stuff like that. That was pretty intense there. I do like his overflow where all that stuff is increasing that villainous track, right? We've had a lot of villains with a lot of tracks here, but I do like the way how his track is tied into overflow, and then like when you get knocked out, that track is increasing. I I don't feel like he was too difficult. I feel like, you know, I could have played things a little bit better. In terms of characters, man, Quasar, I felt like I definitely messed him up. The bands thing, I actually had the bands out early, which should have been, I pretty much probably could have ended the game on that last turn maybe with, if I had built up all those wild tokens and then got that card to release that, being able for me to use all these wild tokens, I feel like that's kind of where he shines. So definitely misplayed Quasar there. I really enjoyed Nova Prime though. I think that's my favorite character, being able to wild in adjacent locations and things like that. But some of those locations were pretty tough as well. The Harvester, that Harvester location, maybe I should have used that Nova Corps headquarters location a little bit more. But look, at least I didn't get blown out. I'm kind of happy. Obviously, I'm disappointed I lost, but I'm kind of happy with how things played out. I very much enjoyed this expansion. I was looking forward to this and some of these characters. I'm very happy and very satisfied that I have played this expansion and have this expansion. All right, guys. Well, look, if you enjoyed this content, smash that like button, hit that notification bell. If you have played the Annihilation expansion, drop that down in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. What did you think of the boss, Annihilus? Who was your favorite character? And last but not least, guys, if you are not subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe so we can keep bringing you some more awesome content. All right, guys, y'all have a great one. Bye.